Today we're going to be reading Disney-Pixar's Hoppers. I have not seen the movie yet, so this is going to be all new to me. Mae Botanica loved animals. She would go to a special glade with her grandma and sit on their favorite rock for hours, watching and listening to the wildlife. Grandma Tanica worked to protect the glade. Mabel wanted to help take care of it too. Years passed and Mabel got older. She missed Grandma Tanica, but she continued to protect the animals of the glade no matter what. So when the mayor began building a highway through the glade, Mabel got mad. She demanded he stopped, but Mayor Jeffrey said the animals had all left. Mabel knew something was very wrong. She went to one of her professors for help. In Dr. Sam's lab, Mabel discovered that her teacher had invented a technology called hopping to allow people to experience the world as lifelike robotic animals. This was Mabel's chance to get the answers she needed. The scientists tried to stop her, but Mabel hopped onto a robotic beaver and ran off. She found a community of animals living by the pond. They thought she was a real beaver. Their king, a kind beaver named George, welcomed Mabel and taught her the pond rules. King George believed animal homes and human homes were all just one big place, but the super lodge was very crowded. The animals of the glade had moved there. They led Mabel to a fake tree in the glade that was playing a loud noise only animals could hear. Mabel knew that Mabel knew that Mayor Jerry was to blame. Dr. Sam radioed to Mabel through the robot, urging her back to the lab, but there was no stopping her. Mabel furiously took down the fake tree, silencing the terrible noise. The animals cheered for Mabel, their hero. They celebrated with a party. The beavers worked together to rebuild their dam, which filled the pond and made it possible for all the animals to return home to the glade. Later, as they swam back to the super lodge, George asked Mabel to be his official advisor. She felt bad about pretending to be a real beaver. She started to tell him the truth when, boom, a loud explosion interrupted her. Mayor Jerry had blown up the new dam in the glade and brought in more loud fake trees. And all the animals escaped back to the super lodge for safety. Mabel was mad. She convinced George to summon the council, a group of animal and insect kings and queens to ask for help. Mabel told them about Jerry's plan to take over the glade for his highway and said their communities would be next. The council agreed to take care of this human king by squishing him. Mabel didn't want that. She tried to talk them out of it, but when Mabel accidentally squished the insect queen, the council attacked her. Mabel and George were lucky to escape. Mabel was so upset. She missed her grandma, and she felt like nobody else cared about the glade. But George cared. He promised to help Mabel. The rest of the pond crew wanted to help too. First, they had to save Jerry. Mabel and George cornered Jerry in his car and typed messages into his phone, warning him that he was in danger. But the council had summoned an apex predator, and a flock of birds soon pulled a shark named... Is it Diane? I think so you pronounce that name. Out of the ocean to squish Jerry. Dr. Sam and the scientists were chasing Mabel too. Sam grabbed the steering wheel and swerved just in time, sending Diane back into the waves. I think I'm pronouncing that right. Sure, someone will tell me in the comments. Jerry was safe, but the scientists grabbed Mabel. They made her unhop back into her human self, causing the robotic beaver to power down. George was shocked and confused, then the angry council appeared, taking them all by surprise. The new insect king, Titus... Titnus? I'm just going to say Titus. Forced the scientists to make a Mayor Jerry robot for Titus to hop into. He planned to use the noise from all the loud fake trees to squish all the humans at the mayor's rally that evening. Mabel and the real Jerry had to work together to stop him. She convinced Jerry to hop into the robotic beaver. He freed Mabel, and the two raced to the rally. Mabel tried to talk Titus out of his evil plan, but the Insect King refused to back down. She chased him up one of the fake trees, and boom, it crashed to the ground, sparking a fire. Titus was defeated, but the fire ripped through the glade and spread fast. The pond crew helped George and Mabel escape the flames. Hold on, did I skip a page? I don't think I did. Did I? No, I didn't. Okay. They hurried back to the Super Lodge as the fire approached the city in the valley below. George directed everyone to take apart the dam. Animals from all over helped, even the ones in the council. Diane joined in too, delivering a final blow. As the dam broke, water rushed into the valley and put the fire out just in time. The city was saved. But the glade was destroyed. Mabel wasn't mad anymore. She was heartbroken. Until she realized Mayor Jerry was there to clean it all up. With tears of joy, Mabel helped. She looked over at George and smiled. After graduating, Mabel got a job in Dr. Sam's lab. They had to shut down the hopping project, but Dr. Sam had plenty of other new ideas. Mabel was excited to work with people who cared about animals as much as she did. The glade was restored and protected forever as a nature preserve. Mabel knew that her grandma would be proud. Mabel and George couldn't talk to each other the same way they used to, but that didn't matter. They were friends, no matter what. The end. Also, as a side note, you want to know who else would be proud of Mabel? Henry from Thomas and Friends, because Henry also likes the forest. So I'm sure he'd probably like this movie too, minus the robotic element. Anyways, with that out of the way, don't forget to like, comment, and subscribe. Talk to y'all later.